Welcome back to International Scale Modeler. Today's review is going to be quite a large craft. Now the model itself is only a 1/144, but the aircraft itself is quite large. It's the Revell 1/144 C-17A Globemaster, and it's got the RAF and Qatari liveries in the box. As you can see, it's quite a long model. That gives you an idea how big the fuselage is and the wings are. It's promising to be a decent kit. So here's the review. Going to do a quick review today on the Revell 1/144 C-17A Globemaster for RAF and Qatar markings. Now this is a kit I picked up very cheap recently from a shop in the UK called Home Bargains, I think it is, and they've got these Revell kits. I've got 4 Revell kits for £20. I think this was something like 11 quid. It's ridiculously low price for a big model like this. Now I do like my big airplanes, as you know, with my Grizzly and everything. This is a lot smaller than the Grizzly. The Grizzly's 172, this is 1/144. Being a Revell kit, it's not going to be amazing. I'm not a fan of Revell, I've got to say. I thought I'd get them. They were so cheap, couldn't not get them. It'd be rude not to, really. But on the box, we've got a few shots of the model made up, like you usually get with Revell, whatever. There's a little bit about the C-17 Globemaster on there, some write-ups, and it says skill level is 5, which is hard in the Revell universe. So let's have a quick look in the box. Oh, sorry, I forgot to do the box art as well. There you go. As you can see, you've got an artist's impression and you've got a real photograph there of the Qatari version. Okay, which is very colourful indeed, and quite different. You know, I really want to do that. My heart says that, my head says that. So, but we'll see if I do get around to building it. So I never know. I might actually put this up for a competition prize on the website. So, right, what's in the box? Let's have a quick look. Right, it's all in one bag. Oh no, there is a couple of bags in there. But let's have a look, see. We've got right, first sprue. This is the fuselage. Now, as you can see, this is 1/144, and that's my arm, which is not a small arm. But as you can see, it's quite a large size. It's from pretty much from the elbow down to the tip of my finger. So good size for that. It's going to be like a nice size model to have on your display. As far as the plastic goes, there's recessed and raised panel lines on here. As you can see on the box here, there's a lot of raised lines. So that's true to the actual aircraft itself, which is nice to see. And it doesn't look like there's any raised ones right on the mould lines. Not too far away. You're going to have to be careful with that. There's some right here, just on the tip where the fuselage joins. But you might get away with that with a thin sander or something like that. The panel lines themselves, I would say, are actually a little bit big for 1/144. I've got to say, I think they're probably a little bit too big. You wouldn't see them that pronounced on sort of like this scale. The plastic itself, it's reasonably hard. It's not soft. I'm not a fan of soft plastic. This was made in 2008, and it is Revell's one as well. But it's a bit, as I say, the mould is a bit soft, the lines are a bit big. But apart from that, it's got a reasonable level of detail on there. And we've got all sorts of bits and bobs and legs and things on that sprue. The other fuselage sprue is a mirror. Obviously you've got the engine housings. Just having a look, see if there's many EPMs on there. They seem to be okay. There's a little bit of flash on the sprue. On the actual pieces themselves, there isn't. There's no flash that I can see. It's a little tiny bit of burring here and there, but not in too many places at all. So that's quite nice to see. Let's have a look. We've got the obviously what is the inside of the fuselage. So this would be like the Grizzly one. They've built this up so you do the inside and you pop that in there. You know, around the cocoon, so it cocoons it. There's a lot of ribbing and things like that on the inside. Looks like some straps and fixing points and things like that. And some other odds and sods which I honestly don't know what they are. The wings themselves, they are, that's a bit strange if you can see that, because I'm sure the wings aren't that shape in real life. You can see how they bend up here. You see that? There you go. Now that might be, they might have warped that a bit, so that's going to take some extra sticking down. Quite a bit of flash on there as well, a big bit of flash on there, you see. But again, the panel lines, I'll give you an idea of the panel lines. As you can see there, they just seem a little bit big for a 1144. Let me show you the fuselage ones. You can see the raised and recessed detail. Okay. So you can see the raised detail there and the recessed, which is nice. I do like to see a mix of that because that's how planes are in real life. But yeah, it's a bit worried about those wings, I've got to say. You've got the hard points down there as well and everything, but there is quite a bit of flash on one of those wings and burr on the other. So there's a lot of flash on this wing and just burring on the other. The tops of the wings, again, it's a mirror of that sprue, apart from it's got the tail fins as well. Again, the detail's a bit soft. You don't know, if you've had some really good kits, you'll know what I mean when I say it's clean and crisp and, you know, looks like it's been put in with a pinpoint accuracy, and that just seems a bit soft and a bit large for the scale of the aircraft. But it's going to be a nice size. I do like good size aircraft, I've got to say. Let's have a look. Let's get this one. Quite a few sprues of plastic. I mean, for I think it was £11. I mean, you get an amazing amount of plastic and a lot of aircraft for that sort of money. Inside, I mean, I would imagine this is the forerunner to the Grizzly, and they've kind of used this as like a map to how they were going to build the Grizzly, because to me this is just completely rings of it. You know, this is exactly how the Grizzly builds up, even though I haven't done it yet, but you can see that they've the same process involved. You've got the interior deck. Again, this has got some details on with cleats and anti-slip and things like that, as you can see. So you'd bring that up the same as you would a Grizzly, tape it up, stripe it. I don't know, I haven't seen any internal shots of one of these, so a little bit of research is needed. But apart from that, you know, it's again, the moulding on this sprue is actually spot on. There's no burring or anything, which is quite nice to see. You've then got the lower fuselage there, which I would imagine would be in the door up position if you're going to have the door up, the bay door up. And you've got the, I would imagine that to be the cockpit, which looks absolutely tiny when you look at the size of the plane. Well, that's basic with the seats and everything. There's no other. I would imagine there's going to be decals in there to cover that, because it's going to be quite tiny. But apart from that, again, there's a lot of detail on it. You know, a lot of stuff you can mess around with, I'm sure. And really, for quite a big model, it looks like, I think this will build up reasonably quickly. It's not one that you're going to have to muck about with too much, but then we never know until they go together. There's 4 identical sprues with the engine nacelles and the actual turbines themselves. And the cowlings, nice, good to see that they've got one-piece cowlings on here. Makes everything a lot easier. But there, I thought there's a bit of flash on these and a bit of burring as well. They're just 4 identical sprues. The wheels, not weighted, and they are one piece, but they do have a mould line right across the middle. So you're going to have to put them down, file them down anyway. But not too bad at all, considering. I mean, you just can't get over the price of this kit. So for what you get from that particular store, I don't know what they usually retail for. Should have had a look before thing on there. On the glass, the glass itself is okay. It obviously for this scale it's going to be quite thick. It's not amazingly clear, but it's okay. It's passable. Let's just see if that focus. There you go. Okay, I think it looks a lot better than it is on camera than it actually is in real life. But you know, not too much of it. Again, there's a few portholes and things like that that you can see on here, and camera points. I would imagine I'm going to use. I won't use the glass that comes with that because it is too big. I'll use micro crystal clear on that, and they'll come up much nicer, I'm sure. But overall, for the plastic, for the amount of plastic for the money, you really can't grumble. And it's not that bad a kit, and it's not an old one as well, which is not a really old one, so it's not going to be really poor. Now, the instructions, if you've read my things, Revell instructions really annoy me. What I do like about them is the technical detail that they have included on the Revell details and everything. It's A4, black and white sheet. Obviously all the paint call outs are going to be in Revell, which I don't have any of. Sprue maps are good. What I do like about Revell, the sprue maps are always numbered on here, so if you do get a loose piece and you think, oh my god, what's that, it's very easy to find out. And the good thing about this is you can cut all the bits off the sprues, spruce them all up, sand them all down, deburr them, and then you can plough straight on because everything's there that you need to know, rather than have to keep going back, checking up and doing it bit by bit. You've got three choices of aircraft here. You can have in-flight, you can have taxiing, because wheels are down but the bay door is up, and then you've got static, which is ladder. That's handy to know. Ladder down, bay door down, wheels down. So that's quite nice. So you've got three different ways of building this model, which is good. And to do that, you've got to chop about things there by the looks of it. So a bit of fettling. If you like fettling, then away you go. Having a look at it, yeah, the inside, you build the inside thing up there and then you cocoon it with the fuselage. It looks to go together really well. The instructions are quite basic and easy to follow. Don't see any problems with those at all. The good thing is it does give you a guide as to which model you're doing. It's quite very clear to see which one they're referring to in the picture. And yeah, as you say, you insert cocoon that inside the fuselage. Wings go together, engines on last, which is good, and wheels, which is excellent, which is how it should be. And then everything together, and then obviously the ladder as well, which I do like. It's a nice touch, that. I do like that. Again, unfortunately, it's not colour. You've got the C-17A Globemaster 3 from 99 Squadron Royal Air Force, based in Oxfordshire, Brize Norton, from 2010, and that'll be the grey one on here. Or you've got the Qatar Emiri Air Force Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar from 2010. Now that is a funky scheme. I really want to do the RAF one, but it's a big grey slab. Now looking at this, if you can see, there's a lot of tonal differences that they've put on here, with bits of grey here, grey there. If you're going to do that grey scheme, to stop it from being a complete slab, you would check your references, and then you're going to do a lot of little masking off and things with different colours. And looking at that, there's actually about 4 different shades of grey on this picture. So I haven't had a look at the real aircraft and see if that's true to form for real life. But if so, then that makes the grey a lot more interesting and easier to build up. The Qatari one, as you can see, looks to be like a grey slab on top of a white slab with no variation in the paint at all. So, you know, while the Qatari one is colourful, that would probably be the more interesting scheme and probably more of a challenge to do than literally just a line straight down the fuselage and, you know, whatever. But that side, I should decide what to do when I build it. Or who knows, I might not build it and put it in a competition for you guys. Right, the decals, they're quite shiny, a little bit too shiny for me. They would definitely take a really, I mean, even though the picture of the Qatari model is a very shiny model, actually, So that will be a satin at least finish on that. Looking at that picture there, it's very glossy indeed. So you may even go with a gloss final coat, which would be different. I can't imagine the grey one being a gloss. I would imagine, I don't think RAF got any glossy planes. So I would imagine that will be a matte at the least. But there's a lot of decals, a lot of grey decals as well. And it looks like they are internal decals, these ones here. And I think that's for the deck inside. But as you can see, you've got your no walk lines, and most of it's all the Qatari markings there, and you've got the small RAF ones at the top. But overall, very shiny decals. The Qatari ones are very shiny, which means they're all shiny. They are in, let me just have a quick look, make sure they're in register. They are all in register. Everything is where it should be. I think I'll probably go with the RF if I was going to build this, not the Qatari one. But apart from that, you know, bulk standard decals for the price of the model. I mean, for the money that it is, you can't really grumble at that. But overall, looks like it'd be. I reckon that'll be quite a reasonably quick build, without too many problems. Hopefully, if there are problems, a lot of them are going to be hidden anyway because of the way that the fuselage cocoons the interior. But that would actually be a quite nice one to do wheels up and sit up my sun ceiling, because I don't know where else I'm going to put it. But anyway, that is the Revell 144 C-17A Globemaster. Thanks a lot, and until next time, see you soon. Take care, bye bye.